Day 10, Sweden against Germany. Germany, the four-time winner and defending champions, were simply fighting for their lives. Germany had not been eliminated from the initial group stages since 1938. It was simple. Germany lose and they're out. Not if they didn't win, they'd be still almost out, virtually out too. So it made no difference. Sweden, looking for back-to-back wins for the first time since 1958, knew that victory would leave them on the verge of qualifying for the second round. In 11 recent meetings, the Germans hadn't been defeated by the Swedes, losing 2-0 at the World Cup finals in 2006 in Germany. Both nations shed 16 goals in a recent qualifying campaign, Germany winning 5-3 at home and Sweden coming back from 4-0 down to draw 4-4 at home. A fascinating game was the prospect. Spain had been the only nation to have lost, defending champion that had lost their opening game and gone on to, Spain had been the only team to ever lose their opening game and go on to successfully win the tournament. Recent champions, France, Italy and Spain had unsuccessfully defended their crowns and had gone out at the group stages. Germany was so infuriated by the performance against the Mexicans that the changes were rang in. Lowe making 4 with Ozil and Hummels, and who was it? Hummels, Kula, being replaced. Sweden saw Lindelof make a return after his untimely illness against just before the game against South Korea. There was Germany, a big improvement was expected, but it wasn't. It came much quicker than anticipated, with a block on the line from Larsen denying Draxler just yards out. Germany were on the front foot already, as possession was theirs, moving purposefully. Sweden compact and disciplined as ever, looking to swift counterattacks and forays upfield. Sweden's back line was being stretched once again. Draxler, very bright, with his driven effort across goal, just yards out. Yards out from a connection. Lindelof then was on hand to make the crucial interception as Germany were threatening once again. It was totally one-sided. The Germans were heavily encamped in the half of Sweden. But then, from the counter, Sweden broke swiftly, and Berg somehow, slumping in between two defenders. It looked a Stonewall penalty, as he seemed to be shoved in the back by the German defender. The pace was frantic, and but soon it settled, and Sweden made inroads in defence and out of defence. However, the constant wave of attacks did not cease. Sebastian Rudy, caught by a flailing boot, saw himself Germany, he saw himself eventually replaced. Germany playing with virtually almost 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes with 10 men. Rudy, bloodied, was replaced by Gundogan. But then Germany, were rattled as Sweden, out of nowhere, took the lead. Like Toivonen expertly chesting the ball staying composed before clipping the ball over the outcoming Nura. This as he was challenged by Rudiger. Sweden were in raptures as Germany were rocking. Then a double save from the keeper kept Sweden on terms. Firstly, a one-handed save to deny that Gundogan before his fine reflexes that kept out Muller. Victor Claesson then inexplicably chose not to elect to shoot first time, and the chance had gone. Then on the stroke of half-time, Nura made the save of the match from Berg, this following the whipped-in cross from Larsson. It was a pulsating header, well expertly turned over. Germany were on their way out of the finals, as Sweden were on their way to their first victory over Germany since 1978. Now, for the second half, Germany, at the bottom of the group, needed something, and it wouldn't take long for them to get back on level terms. Rigid and compact Sweden pierced. Werner's dangerous cross into the box was pounced on by Ruiz, and who jumped in front of the defender with the ball pouncing off his knee and into the goal. Sweden were rocking and Germany were elated. A minute later, Kroos almost deflected an effort saw his effort deflected off the chest of the Swedish defender. It was all set. Sweden were now under a barrage of German assaults. First goal Olsen had conceded in 548 minutes. His defence needed to weather this constant German stall. Muller should have done a lot better with his own effort on goal, as should have Hector, unable to catch the ball efficiently to get a sufficient connection that would have beaten the Swedish keeper Olsen. Forays into the German half were few and far between for Sweden, as they were forced into dropping very deep into their own defence. The ball swept across the goal, then eluded Reus, who seemed to have tripped over his own feet. It looked only a matter of time before Germany, Gomez yards out but offside, missed an open goal. Sweden survived almost an own goal from Wernersson's dangerous delivery inside the box. Forbesson's volley was Sweden's first attempt on goal in the second half. Then Toivonen, the goal scorer, was replaced with Dermaz coming on to replace him. Then an unmarked Werner whipped the ball over from close range. Sweden living on the edge, but then it seemed to go wrong for Germany, as everything was going against them when Boateng, already booked earlier, was dismissed for a second challenge. When he'd gone into the back of Berg. It took a while, but eventually he left the field. Then Nura slipped, but just managed to deny Sweden a crucial second goal. Olsen then made the save of the match to a one-handed effort to deny Mario Gomez, as the frustration grew for Germany. 5 minutes were added. The newly arrived Brandt crashed an effort onto the post. Offside Werner sweeping over. It was a glaring miss. Sweden were living on their nerves, while desperation was evident on the German faces, none so more than their coach, who was trooping up and down the line. Then dramatically, Germany, playing with two defenders, saved it right at the end when a free kick award was given against Dermaz. Kroos conjured up he conjured up the magic, an exquisite free kick curled around into the far corner. The bend, the pace, the precision, and Sweden were deflated. It was the stuff that world champions were made of, and the perseverance for Germany, like paying off. Sweden were broken-hearted, and Germany celebrated in relief. It was, and Germany saved themselves from elimination, and Sweden needed to pick themselves up again, and as they looked to face Mexico, Germany were to be very confident of defeating Korea and progressing to the quarterfinals, to the second round.